Hi everyone, this is Jennifer Miller, and we are here with the DCBS Tutoring Program's first Go-To Training meeting. Welcome everyone. Can I get at least one person to type yes into the chat box if you can hear me okay? Thank you. All right, so we're going to just have a super quick meeting, guys. This session will be recorded for students who were unable to make it today. We're basically just going to go over the outline for the rules, regulations, and requirements for the tutoring program since this month is our very first launch. Then we can answer any questions that you guys have. I have been getting several different questions coming in, which is great and helps us out. So we can talk about any questions that you might have at the end of our session. I'm going to ask that you please have your headphones or headset plugged in so we don't get the reverb. And then also I'm going to let you guys control your own mics. So if you could please mute yourself when you are not speaking, and that'll keep us from hearing any background animals, children, anything else, televisions going on over there. Okay, so I hope to have you guys out of here within a half an hour today. Let's go ahead and get started. First, before I go over the current assignments, I want to take a look at the Connect page. So you guys can get to this obviously through Connect and under Organizations. I'm sure you've already been here to complete the application form, so you've already seen this. But just to go through everything quickly again for some of our instructors that are here with us today. The tutor position requirements, students had to have had a 90 or higher in the class. If we did make a match, we've already confirmed the student's GPA and class grade, so you don't need to go back and check those. And then the course director is going to make the selection of the best candidate. So students, if you're here with us, there was no classes that only had one applicant. So I think the minimum was actually 4 or 5 applicants per class. So if you were chosen as a tutor, that means the instructor selected you from a group of potential applicants to work with that class. And the student's going to be in good academic standing, of course. Now let's talk about the commitment. Students signed on for a 2-month commitment to participate in the tutoring program. With that 2-month commitment, they're going to be available 6 office hours per week on iChat, and that's only during academic weeks. Okay, so if we have a school break or anything like our summer break we just completed, tutors are not required to work during those times. And the 6 office hours need to be on at least 2 different days. Okay, they can be on more than 2 days if you want to spread it out 1 hour per day for 6 days, if you want to do 2 hours a day on 3 days, but the minimum is to be available on 2 different days. That'll just give our students a little bit more flexibility when they can reach you. The student who applied should be available for immediate assignment. We haven't had any trouble with that. And then let's talk about the tasks that are going to be completed during office hours. So the student is basically going to be on iChat or messages live, and at that time they can answer any class-related questions on assignments, projects, discussion boards, anything related to the class content. Students can and should also participate in the class discussion, so go in there and respond to other students' posts. We don't have a minimum requirement for this as far as the program goes, but you can talk to the individual instructor that you're working with, and he or she may have a minimum request for you. Students can also hold go-to trainings. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And they can do other miscellaneous TA tasks. And these are the classes that are available for a tutor. I also want to introduce Liz. Liz, if you want to come on and say hello. Liz Rowney is my partner as far as the tutoring program administration. So we really appreciate all her help and hard work. So either Liz or I may be reaching you in the future concerning your new position. And then I just want to show you guys under bookmarks here, we have the current tutor assignments. This is going to be updated every month to show who the current active tutors are. Okay. So if you come across somewhere in the FSO Connect world, if you come across another student that's in a different class that says, hey, I see that you're a tutor, maybe they see your badge in a discussion forum or something like that, can you help me? If you want to help that person and see if there is a tutor assigned to his or her class, if the student's not in your class, you can go into this. Everybody has access to it, and you can see what the current assignments are. Now, this is our very first month, so I think it's fantastic that we already have 6 students signed up and placed within a month from the launch of the program. So I think that we're doing pretty good so far. We're going to work to continue to fill up the rest of these spaces within the next month. All right, so let's go back. And so these are our current assignments. All these students have been invited to join us today. Some of them were unable to make it, but they will be given our archival link. And so we have, starting from the top, working with Intro to Digital Cinematography, formerly Film Foundations, with Mr. Ginzo is Christian. He'll be in July and August. Working with Jamie for the same class is Anna. She'll be in July and August. Project planning is Christina. July and August again. Lighting is Lars, July and August. Intro to editing will be Orlando Gomez. Now, we worked out a special deal with him to do July and September due to a PMA class requirement. As you guys may have heard, we do not suggest that students tutor when they have a PMA class because they're going to have 2 different classes that month already. Then we have art design and location shooting, and that is Shalisha. So she'll be in July and August as well. Upcoming assignments, we've already matched up Mike and Hernan with audio, and this is not right. This should be audio production. He is actually working with electronic field production. Apologize for that. And these guys are going to be starting in August, again, because of the PMA hold for the month of July. Okay, so these are our current students that have been officially matched and have completed all approvals for the process. Let's talk about steps for setup. Here's what we need to do right away if you guys have not done this already. So staff, first of all, make sure the student is on your roster. I believe I got a verbal confirmation with most of you that everything is set up and good to go. So I don't think we have any problems there. If we do, let me know and I can contact the registrar. You want to make sure you have your student tutor's office hours posted in a class announcement. I did send out an email with a template if you want to use it. You're obviously, able to write up anything that you want, but I can send this to you again if you need me to. This is just the write-up that I wrote from my class, so you can follow this outline or you can make your own. And my announcement just says, the student tutor for the July class is Christina. It says a little blurb on what a tutor is, what they can be used for, and then it lists the tutor's office hours. The office hours can change, guys, so if you come across something or if you have a family emergency or if you're just super busy that day or something comes up, just talk to your instructor, okay? It's no problem. Now, the instructor is going to have to alert the class and let them know that your office hours have changed, and we will ask that you replace those hours, even if it's maybe at a later week, but we'll ask that you make them up. But if there's a certain day that comes up, we understand things happen, just let your instructor know, and it's okay to change those kind of as you go. It's also okay to have different office hours per week. So Christina's kind of working with the same 3 days every week of the month, but if you want to change that up from week to week, so week 1 if you want to do Monday, Tuesday, week 2 if you want to do Wednesday, Thursday, that is no problem. It's up to you and your instructor. Obviously, at the start of the following month for your second month of the commitment, you can change your hours, of course. I also added a blurb on here with Christina's email, and it just says if you have a question outside of office hours, you can email your class tutor. Now, the students in the class are already going to have access to the tutor's email address because it's going to be shown in the class roster. And because you're an audit, you are part of the roster, so the students will see it under My Classmates. So they'll already have access to your email. The one note that you want to add in here, staff, is that let the students know that the tutor is not required to respond to emails until their office hours, okay? So if any of you have worked with the mentoring program, it's going to be a little bit different. With mentoring, we asked you guys to respond within 3 days. This is a little bit different. Your tutors are not required to respond till your next office hours, okay? Those are the only hours you are committed to work for the program. So let's say you get an email coming in on Sunday and you don't have office hours until Tuesday. You would not be required to respond to that email until Tuesday when your office hours begin. If you want to respond to it right away, go for it, absolutely, okay? Just so you guys know what your requirements are and so the staff knows what your limitations are. Instructors, you may want to send an email to your class introducing the student mentor. That's up to you. And you may also want to create a discussion forum. We used to call it in my grad program like Tutoring World, but it can be just for any questions, comments, advice, and your tutor can sort of be in charge of controlling that forum and keeping an eye on it. That's optional, completely up to you guys. Okay, let's move on to students, and 2 more slides before I wrap this up and open it for questions. Students, you want to make sure you've accomplished the following tasks when you are starting your tutoring position. Make sure you can get access to the class. I assume because I haven't heard back, is Lars with us today? He's not with us right now. I had heard that you guys were not seeing the classes listed during summer break. Okay, so I assume that everybody here has access. If you don't, tell me about it when we get to questions. But make sure that you have access to the class. You can get into it. You should have already been registered as an auditing student, which means you do not need to submit any assignments. You will not be getting a grade for this class. It will not affect your GPA, but you have access, the same access rights that any other student has. You want to make sure to give your instructor your intended office hours for the month, as well as your iChatter messages screen name. You want to talk to your instructor about any new assignments or revised assignments. So what may have changed since you took the class as a student. Then you're going to briefly look over any like course outlines or just projects, references, look through all the tabs and announcements, and just be familiar with the class setup, okay, because that's going to help you. We do not expect you to have every single answer memorized. So if a student asks you about a specific project, we, expect you to have to go into the class, download the assignment directions, kind of look through them, and then give the student the best answer, okay? That's no problem. That's to be expected. So make sure you know where everything is so it'll save you some time when you have those questions. What's next? Basically, to get the ball rolling, you're just going to be available, students, on your iChatter Messages account during the times that you have posted. I like to add, especially when I first started teaching online, when I first started having these office hours, I like to put a reminder in like my cell phone or on my computer that reminds me like 15 minutes before my office hours are going to start, and it'll just give me a little beep and reminder that I need to go ahead and get online. If you absolutely cannot be at your desk, there are apps that you can use. Those should kind of be like a backup in case you have to run out for whatever reason. You can use like the AOL, if you have an AIM screen name, you can use their app and be available that way. But we recommend that you are actually at your computer because a lot of times you'll have to be looking up a file or a video and finding the answer that way. So that's usually the easiest solution. The instructor should add the tutor's screen name to their iChat buddy list and check in during the tutor's office hours. They should do that at least once a week. If you can, do it more. We just need you guys to verify availability just to make sure that they're on when they say they're on. Because we are going to be granting community points, GPS points. So the GPS department is going to ask someone to be the person that verifies they have completed their hours, and that person is going to be you, the instructor. Okay, so I just need you guys to check in on that. You don't have to even talk to them. All you have to do is look on your buddy list and see if their name is listed as available. And then students should just consult with their instructor with any questions that they get from a student. So don't feel bad if you're not able to answer a question, or if a student, for example, is asking for an extension or something that you don't have control over. Don't ever think twice about consulting your instructor. Send them an email. If you want or need to, you can copy the iChat conversation. You can save that out, and you can send that along with your email if you need to. But just let your instructor know what's going on, and he or she will help you out. I want to talk briefly before I let you go about other options. This is mainly for instructors to consider, but I just want students to know that these might come up as well. So a tutor can act as a TA. Okay, originally we were kind of going back and forth between what we wanted to call the position. Do we want to call it a tutor? Do we want to call it a TA, or both? A TA stands for teacher's assistant. And the tasks assigned to each are generally different. So ultimately we decided that a tutor was the best choice because we want the focus to be on the students and helping our classes out. However, through this program, tutors can also act as a TA. So they can be given additional assignments. For example, things like pre-grading. Tutors cannot determine the assignment grades per se, but they can help with a task like checking for completion, checking to make sure links work, videos are playing back correctly, or they can set things up like if you have a peer critique, for example. I use VoiceThread. You can have the students download and pull all the files and load them into the forum. They can create graphics or class assets, things for the class Facebook page. Any of those things you can ask them to work on. The only limitation is that they're only going to be required to work on it during their tutoring office hours when they're not helping other students. Okay, so it's very unlikely that you guys have 6 office hours a week. It's very unlikely that you are going to be talking to another student every single minute of those 6 hours. Most likely you're going to have downtime. And if you're not given any other assignment, you are more than welcome to use that downtime to work on your own class assignments, students. But teachers, if you want to, if you have other tasks, you can give them those tasks. And when they do not have a question from a student, they can work on it during those office hours. And then finally, tutors can hold go-to trainings with the students in the class. Now this is completely optional. It's up to the tutor and the instructor if they want to hold a tutor go-to training. But if you want to, the tutor can share tips or tricks they've learned about your specific class. They can just answer general questions about the week's projects, or they can even present a short lecture, a 15-30-minute lecture on content that is related to the class. So if you guys want to do that, students cannot create the go-to training, so the instructor will need to create the training session. And then what you do is if you look at the control panel, you'll see change presenter. So you're basically going to give the presenter rights over to your TA. And then at that point, the TA will be able to pull up, or the tutor will be able to pull up his or her desktop screen and then go through any slides, videos, websites, whatever, and present the class lecture that way. So obviously instructors, you're going to want to kind of oversee it, but you don't need to be active. All you really need to do is turn it on and get everything set up, and if you need to go grade or go, work on something else, then you can, and the tutor can kind of run it from there. Okay? All right, so that's all I need to go over tonight, or this afternoon, rather. I'm not used to doing a daytime go-to. So what we can do is open this up to questions, and you guys have control of your own mics. So if you have a question, you can either just start talking, you can raise your hand, or you can type it into the chat box. So any questions about anything that we've gone over or getting started with the tutoring program? And Ginzo, I can send you the template for the announcement. That's no problem. I'll send that to you in a little bit. Nobody has any questions? Does anyone have any comments? Sure. Hi, Mike.
I'm assuming maybe that I was the Mike W on one of the slides over there for August. And just a quick heads up, I could be like the other guy here that you were talking about, Orlando, I think, Gomez. I don't know if this changed or somehow that I got mixed up on this or whatever, but it looks like that my PMA class is not this month, but next month.
Okay. Let me see what I have here, and maybe Liz might be able to help me. It may have been a possible mix-up on your application. Let me see what I have here real quick. Okay, your application is showing that it listed your current month in June as month 20. So there might have just been like a mix-up with that because month 21 should be the PMA class. It could have also been something with your schedule where for whatever reason you were kind of bumped around.
I think that's what happened because a couple of students that I actually started with back in 2011 in the same month that we've been kind of in the same classes all along, all of a sudden their PMA class is this month, but mine, and I promise at one point I thought mine was too, but I just looked at it the other day, well, when class started, and it's now next month.
What class did you have in June? Last month. Directing. Okay. Yeah. I would call your advisor because you should be in PMA this month. Do you have Digital Cinematography 1 with Kyle Fraser? Okay, that's a mistake. Call your advisor as soon as you get off with me here. They need to put you into PMA. It should be, because Kyle teaches it, it's lined up with his class. So talk to him, and I'll give the instructor a heads up also. But they should be able to get you caught up. It's only the second day. If not, we can just push this back if we need to. But the bigger concern is making sure your schedule is correct.
Okay, super. I'll call the advisor and get that. I think that did get changed, somehow, and so maybe it's a change that neither one of us know about, and then maybe again it's a mistake. But I'll find out soon as we get off this call.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. Yeah, there should not, that I know of, there should not be any reason that you would receive like a transfer credit or anything. So I'm not really sure why they would not put you in there. So yeah, the advising team, they should be able to help you out. Sure. Anybody else have any questions or concerns before I let you guys go today? Nope. Okay. Well, I'm going to stay on for a few extra minutes. So if you do think of something, I'll be on for a couple more minutes. Other than that, you can always email me. My email is JEMiller tutoring@fullsail.com, or even better, contact the instructor that you are paired up to work with, and he or she will help you get everything set up. So thank you guys for coming. If you are watching the archival, thank you for listening. And just let me know if there's anything I can help you with. But again, we are so thankful to all of the students and instructors who are participating, especially our student tutors who are volunteering their time to help out their classmates. It's going to be helpful to you guys as well. I really think it will be. It's going to give you some teaching experience for one or two of you that I know might be interested in pursuing education as a career in the future. It's going to give you community service hours. These are volunteer hours, guys. You can list them as volunteer hours on your resume, okay? It's going to give you an extracurricular activity, GPS points, and we are in talks with the professional development department about obtaining a tutoring award that you can also receive. So more information on that will come. The one thing that I just realized I forgot to add is make sure you are using your photo that we gave you with the photo that we gave you with the tutoring logo. Okay. Let me pull it up real quick before I let you go. We sent that to you. A few students were actually having issues getting it opened. If you have any trouble, you can email me back, but you want to have that the logo that says the orange T on it, and that's going to come up in any discussion post that you enter. It's going to come up on the class roster or even anywhere on FSO that you are talking to other students. It's going to show that you're a tutor. We understand it could get a little bit confusing because it's also going to show up in your current class, and you're not going to be a tutor for that class, but we hope that its value is greater so that if it does cause a little bit of concern, it'll be okay. I'm trying to get this picture loaded for you guys. So here's the one that I put of myself just to kind of get the word out. So it looks like this little orange T, okay? So make sure you guys replace your photo. It's a really small image because we're using the FSO requirements. So make sure you post your photo that we gave you with your T to start up, yes? And if you have trouble, just let me know and we can work on that file for you, okay? All right, well, I hope that you guys have a fantastic day. Have a great month this month in your new tutoring positions, and feel free to let me know if there's anything I can help you with at any time. Thanks for coming, guys. Have a great day.